Hey, Roaring. Ik hoor in Turf in Kumstenis.
On today's show, hey, where'd that go? Everybody back, and the crew's back in town, as we have promised you guys all this week. We have the crew today, the great man, the only one I really care about, RB3. Followed up by Brett Sheridan, Kate Mulligan, Winston Marshall, Ben Goddard. We're all here for you guys today, and we're very happy that you guys can be joining us on today's show. And we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. There's rumors out there that Tom Cruise is going to join The Rock's new movie on Netflix. That's pretty awesome. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action show coming out. Maybe. What? I like that very much. And there's more news on this Flashpoint movie with Michael Keaton and a whole bunch of other things happening right now. So we're going to jump into it. And the first thing is this Tom Cruise and The Rock being in a movie together. Goddard, you got a chance to read the story? You know the details about it?
I did, and it's not exactly clickbaity, but it's more of a cameo where The Rock's got the movie, what's it called? I had it, Red Notice, coming out sometime in the next 2 years, and Tom Cruise was going to cameo in it, but the cameo, while that seems to be underwhelming for Tom Cruise, it's setting up for future sequels. So if the movie Red Notice is, I don't know. No one knows how successful movies are on Netflix, like how they measure success. But if there is a sequel, Tom Cruise might be the adversary. He might be, the next, it might be the new, he's already got Hobbs and Shaw. And next we got a Cruise on The Rock. So he's teaming up with all the shorter stature action heroes.
I mean, that was gonna be my thing. Is maybe he just has a thing for A-list shorties, So
Right?
RB3, let's get you on the A-list, baby, and let's get you in some of these Rock movies, son.
Wow, that was Winston. That was a touch shady. It was a touch shady, Winston.
No. Ask RB3. That's all black people do. It's always roasted. You always roasting each other. We stay sharp. That's how we're ready for protests in March. We gotta train each other. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you,
it's a sparring match. That's all it is.
It just would sound very different if I was like, RB3 could be in that movie because he's short.
yeah.
I like a boo.
Oh man.
I do like the idea though that setting up future sequels for these guys, because it's like, Tom Cruise is with Mission Impossible, everything that he's done in his career, and to team up with probably the biggest action star today in The Rock. I think being able to set that up, that it's potential that we have more movies with them. If maybe that brings more eyes to the movie, because it's like, okay, look, maybe this first movie, it's okay, but I really want to see a sequel with Tom Cruise having more to do here. Do you think that's kind of the overall plan there, RB3?
Yeah, I think so. I think having Tom Cruise, obviously, I never really thought Tom Cruise would fall into the Netflix, the streaming services kind of thing. I always thought he was going to stay away from doing Netflix movies because he's such a big movie star. But I think it just goes to show you that he's interested in this game the same way The Rock is, the same way everybody else is. And I would love to see these two come together. I mean, to me, these are the two biggest modern action stars we have during this time period. And I think it could be really fun. And they're so just visually different, right? I mean, it was kind of talked about before, but The Rock being this tall, brooding dude, and Tom Cruise being this shorter, faster running kind of guy. I think it has a lot of potentials for some interesting dynamics here. So.
Yeah.
Can I also? Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that I think even if it was just a cameo role for Tom Cruise, we've seen that he does those so well. Think about Tropic Thunder. I mean,
right.
Tropic Thunder, it was more than a cameo, but it's a tiny part. Like if they give him like a tiny part with legs on it, I don't know. I feel like I don't mind it. I didn't mean it that way. You know, like a tiny part. I didn't mean it that way. But
tiny part. Man, you on fire. They had to call you the sniper. Brett, where you been at, bro?
I don't know. I just want to point out, I'm Brett and that's Winston. We kind of look kind of twinsies today.
I like it.
Like, you know, I'm up in the upper right hand corner. Winston's in the down center. So
I'm in the up center and you're in the down left.
I know. I think it's different for everyone. Yeah. I just my point. I think Tom Cruise is great in a cameo. That's what I was trying to say.
Look, the thing that really sets it up is because if you have this first movie, the difference is like with cameos here is that you don't rely on Tom Cruise to sell the movie in the first one, and it opens up the possibility to then bring in a new franchise, because a lot of times what they do with these movies, like they did with the monster movies, like, oh, we're going to do these big trilogies and these big movies and we're going to do this extended universe, and everyone's like, oh yeah, but the first one stinks. If you have the first movie, even if it stinks, but you're like, oh, well, I still kind of want to see The Rock and Tom Cruise in a movie together, in an action movie, so I'll still watch the second one. It's a good kind of ploy to get people excited about it if it indeed happens. But I think that the cameo should be, you know, like maybe like a longer cameo, because Kate, people still do consider, even though it's a big role, that Tropic Thunder,
I consider it a cameo.
it's like an extended cameo. I mean, you look at Bill Murray in Zombieland, right? Like
yes.
That's an extended cameo. Yeah. So you can do an extended cameo with Tom Cruise, make it a big thing, like, oh wow, the possibilities of that. And maybe they fight each other. Maybe they have, you know, some kind of back and forth, whatever it is. It's like another version. It's like a, I don't know. It's like a, I want to say classier version of Expendables, you know?
I mean, it is star packed. I mean, we mentioned Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds on top of The Rock, and Tom Cruise. So you already do have some of the biggest names in action involved in it. And RB3, to kind of counter your point about being too big for Netflix, I mean, come on, like Will Smith. I mean, Bright was trash, but Will Smith did that,
and that's getting a sequel.
Right? Chris Hemsworth did Extinction. Wasn't that the movie?
Extraction.
You know what I'm saying? So you having A-list celebrities coming down and getting this check, because why not? If you can just throw it in your house, why wouldn't you do that? Especially because I'm not trying to go to the movies just to see Tom Cruise in a movie for 5 seconds and die.
Right.
I'm good on that.
That's what I think for Netflix.
What's the end game? What's the end game for Netflix on this, though? I guess I don't understand the model of, like, if they're spending 30 million. I mean, this is not the right number, but if they're spending a 30 million to make a movie, how do they recoup that?
Subscriptions, baby. Subscriptions.
I know, but like if subscriptions, like, is there anybody, like, I'm sure there are plenty of people who
like
still don't have Netflix, but like
Netflix famously has never released their numbers.
Right.
But there's always articles of like how much they're in debt because of, like, I think they're releasing over 1,000 original projects this year. Like every day they're releasing multiple either stand-up shows, documentaries, series, like stuff you'll never hear of unless, like, you know, like Tiger King, it just happened to go viral and Netflix had no idea it was going to go viral.
Right. Yeah. Well, speaking of one streaming platform to the next, I just got this email from Roku. I don't know if anybody else saw this, but they said that HBO has made the decision to discontinue access to HBO Go on nearly all streaming platforms as of July 31st, 2020. HBO Go enables cable subscribers to access HBO via the streaming platform of their choosing at no additional cost. We here at Roku are disappointed that HBO will no longer give its customers access to HBO Go, and that HBO is taking this action at a time when so many people are at home. Oh, shady. We believe providing an exceptional user experience is paramount, and we have asked HBO to reconsider their decision. Unfortunately, at this time, they're still planning to shut down HBO Go. Meanwhile, our customers can still access HBO in a number of ways across our platform. Existing HBO users that subscribe through Comcast, Charter, or AT&T can stream HBO on the Comcast Infinity Stream, Spectrum TV, and AT&T channels available on the Roku platform. Additionally, if you'd like to continue to access HBO on Roku, you may subscribe directly on HBO on the Roku channel. This is shitty news.
I got a question though, because my homegirl put me on game that if I go and take my HBO Go subscription and plug it into HBO Max, I just get HBO Max. Yeah. So if that is still the case, it sounds like Roku up here blowing smoke up people's asses, even though that, like, you could still access.
No, you can't. You can't, because HBO Max is not available on Roku.
Well, that part I didn't know, and that sucks. But I'm saying, like, right now with my Apple TV, my HBO Go, because it sounds like they're canceling HBO Go across the board. HBO Max is the replacement. So
I would not care if I could access HBO Max on my Roku or on Amazon. Then I would be like, okay, cool. Then I don't give a shit. It's just one platform from the next.
Okay.
But now I got to like jump through hoops to find this thing. It's
I didn't know that. I that's why I was confused. I was like, well, I literally just took my HBO Go login, plugged it in HBO Max, and it worked. I didn't know that they hadn't done that for Roku. In which case, I look like a jackass. So I apologize.
Thank God.
I have an older Apple TV, and I don't think it can get HBO Max. Like, I think you need a newer Apple TV
You're the
to
one
do
with
it.
the App Store.
So I mean, this kind of sucks for me too, because I have HBO now. I don't know if that's different.
It's Max now.
So it's like, WTF, HBO? Like you Warner Brothers has completely shit the bed with this release, and I know we're getting the article where we could talk about it, that they're still keeping the DC titles that they were supposedly going to lose, with contracts with their streaming service. So that's good news, but they don't have full catalogs. They don't have everything they promised they would have. They are not available on one of the biggest streaming platforms, like a Roku, like streaming devices. And then now they're like canceling their former thing. Like, I don't get the strategy behind this.
So
ridiculous. I have a TiVo. I can't get shit.
It's exactly what Winston said, though, man. They're trying to push people to HBO Max, but it's not available on a lot of the platforms. So it's like, I understand, and I think what Winston was saying is right. It's like, if that's your platform that you want to push everyone to, then you should get rid of it. It's the same thing like when like Disney Junior was around. That Disney Junior's gone because you don't need it. You have Disney Plus and you access everything that you want from there. But when you can't access it and you don't, what they should do, if HBO Max says, listen, we're canceling it because what we're planning to do is getting a deal of HBO Max to every other streaming platform. That's how we want you to take in our content. Then there you go. But that just hasn't been said yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just Apple TV? Is that?
No, Roku.
No, it's not.
No, that has HBO Max.
That has HBO.
Oh.
Or like Samsung TV.
Oh no! Like all if you have a PS4, if you have an Xbox, if you have a smart TV, like it's all already loaded on those things. The only thing it's not on right now is Roku. And I think in international and the older, like you said, Winston or Ben, like the older Apple TVs might not be able to pick it up.
And Amazon, I guess the Amazon Fire Stick also doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a real the fact is they're still trying to figure all of it out, but I think that this plan should have been put in place before they launched. They should have known, hey, look, there's a lot of people, because if you launch it with everything, then people are going to be pretty excited about it. From what I hear, they have it's such a catalog of movies that people are already excited about, and they haven't even launched a lot of their original stuff yet, and the things that they're going to do, and the Snyder Cut and all that. Like they're going to start getting some big wins here, but out the gate, then you take away HBO Go, it's that's pretty rough. But I saw people keep mentioning this rad Blu-ray DVD. There's apparently like 150 copies that people are going to know. So Ed Harrell, the great Ed Harrell, sent me one, but he sent it to he sent it somewhere else. So I haven't, when I gave him an address, I just haven't had a chance to get it yet. So I haven't picked it up. But I also wanted to announce today that on The Hollywood Reporter, Robert Kirkman, of course, the creator of The Walking Dead and Skybound. So the Walking Dead creator will participate in the Skybound Expo, which is going to celebrate the company's 10th anniversary. In a year that has disrupted the comic book industry and the convention scene alike, Skybound Entertainment is going virtual to celebrate its 10th anniversary. The comic book banner from The Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman will host Skybound Expo, which is a 2-day event, and it's scheduled for July 18th and 19th. This event will stream on YouTube and Facebook. The Skybound Expo will include a panel with Kirkman, who will discuss his latest creation, Firepower. The event will also include a panel looking back at Skybound's 10 years of history, as well as another featuring trivia about the company and its properties, hosted by Movie Trivia Schmoedown's Kristian Harlow. Hey, look at that.
Yay!
That's you.
Hey.
That's
What?
Found that out this morning.
No way.
Found that out this morning. So look at that.
Man, you done left the good part at the end of the damn sentence. I wasn't ready for that. I was so like, what? Oh, bruh.
Look at that. So that's that right there. That was released in the Hollywood Reporter this morning, which was pretty cool. And I just wanted to let everybody know about that. So make sure and I'm going to put the article in the chat room right now. And speaking of the chat room, let everybody know, streamlabs.com/SCHMOEDOWN. The SCHMOEBOT is off at the moment. It is off at the moment, but we are going to be turning it on at 10:30, and we want to get you guys involved in the conversation. Any of the topics that we spoke about today, the crew is back. And like I said, I know that we were trying to figure out a way to get everybody back, and the donations really keep the show going. It keeps the show alive. It keeps us able to bring back the crew. So if you can start putting in your questions or comments in streamlabs.com/SCHMOEDOWN, much appreciated. And obviously the SCHMOEBOT itself will start very, very soon. We're going to be talking to you guys about about topics today, and there's some really good ones that came in. I think that the one I'm going to choose is the best movies in an actor or an actress's career.
Oh,
so this is something that Stephen Westaway put in the group. So we're going to do the best movies in an actor or an actress's career. So you can pick any actor or any actress, and I'll start. No one would think that I would bring this person up, but Julia Roberts. I would say that Pretty Woman is probably Julia Roberts' best movie, and here's the reasons why. And I would go into it like that. So make sure that you guys let's do it. So pick an actor. Doesn't even have to be an actor that you necessarily love, but you can say, what do you think the best movie in their career is? So put that in the Streamlabs today. Moving over to the next topic, however, is this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action thing. What do you think? What do you think there, Ben? What's the story behind this?
In a future, New York City far different from the one we know today, a lone surviving turtle goes on a seemingly hopeless mission to obtain justice for his fallen family and friends.
Wow.
Coming this fall, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Live action.
Live action.
Just
But
one.
yes, according to CinemaSpot, the plan for the series is to adapt The Last Ronin, the upcoming 5-issue miniseries, which is being released later this year by IDW Publishing. Based on the synopsis, it definitely sounds like this is going to be a very different take on the characters. So we've got the 80s and the 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for better or for worse. We have the not Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. Are you guys excited for this? Because if they're going ultra Batman Begins Dark Knight with Ninja Turtles, I'm all about it.
I'm always optimistic because I do like the property very much. I've only liked one, and it's only because I was probably older when the second one came out. I know Secret of the Ooze a lot of people like, but my favorite one is the first one, the one that came out in 1990. I thought that was a really good movie. It was gritty. It had some. It treated it with respect, and it could have been really, really goofy, but it was good. It's the only one that I liked, even though that the Michael Bay produced ones. The first one was like okay. The second one was atrocious. So I'm optimistic, but I still, fingers crossed. Winston, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I'm probably one of the biggest Ninja Turtle stands that I know, and I live, eat, breathe, and die by the original cartoon, by the original live actions. I thought Michael Bay completely destroyed something that I love near and dear to my heart, because I get that they're mutants. They look like straight up monsters. Part of what made them kind of fun before was that they were mutants, but they didn't look like monsters. You know what I'm saying? So if they steer away from that, I also like the idea of going back to puppets. I know that's practical costumes. I know that's a little bit harder to do, but it just looks better. If they're doing something like that, I could be down with it. The only thing that I'm confused about, you're gonna make a show based off of a property that hasn't come out yet, that you don't know that people even like. You know what I mean? They're doing Flashpoint, which is a series that has been done before in the comics and we know is successful. But this is a story they haven't even dropped yet. They're just like, screw it, we're gonna do it both as a comic book and as a movie, and hopefully everything will be fine. That just seems kind of weird to me, but that's just me.
What do you think? RB3?
I personally I know the original comic books that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are based on are pretty dark, are a little more darker. They're in black and white, and they have a little more of a a serious kind of tone to them as opposed to like the movies and the shows. So I'd be down to see them adapt that, like to be violent, kind of like in a way of like a Daredevil type of thing, right? Like very low light, very shadowy, a lot of night stuff. I think that could be really cool. And I think it's a good departure from the Michael Bay versions, which people, when the Michael Bay versions first came out, people thought they were going for the dark and gritty aspect of it, but they weren't. They were going for a more goofy, fun tone that's like indicative of the Ninja Turtles. So I'd be interested to see where they go in a kind of a darker, more serious kind of environment. But it's just because I've never seen that before, so I'm interested.
Kate, what do you think?
I think it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Period. That's all. No, I think if you're gonna bring them back live action, okay, that's one choice. I think you don't mix it with a new choice. I don't think you mix it with the choice it's science experiments. You only can have one variable. So you want to do live action, that's sort of hit or miss, right? Okay, great. I would not then also be like, and it's a different take on the Turtles. Like, if you want to do a different take on the Turtles, keep it in the format, keep it in the cartoon format, and play with the variation of that before you introduce a live action version of it. I just think it's just too many variables, and I think like my sons love the figures. My older son has watched some of the movies. He hasn't seen Secret of the Ooze. By the way, that was my first movie date. Thank you. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just sort of think that like, it just seems like it's too many variables for it to. It just seems like, I don't know, grasping at straws. Kristian's pilot.
Well, I do think that it's also, anytime there's enough time in between, I think that they're always trying to take an IP that worked and that was successful and wildly successful for a while and try to aim it towards a new generation. So I always say, if you have a take that does that, then I always welcome it. But I think that you do run that risk of, is it just enough is enough? It didn't work the last couple times, let's let it lie. But if there's a take that works, and who knows. But the other thing to mention before we move on, and to remind you guys again, please get those questions coming in right now. I'm looking over. There's no questions in there yet, so we need some questions in here in order to keep this show going, and I mean in general. So make sure streamlabs.com/the Put your actors' favorite movies, best movies in their career, put them in there for the 11 to 12. And I watched a movie over the last, because now it takes me 2 days to watch a movie because of children. But I watched Vanilla Sky. I haven't seen Vanilla Sky in probably 19 years. Speaking of Tom Cruise, right? Mm-hmm. It was a remake of a movie that I think that had come out a couple years earlier when it was, I think, 97, 98. I want to tell you that it was a Spanish film, and it was called Open Your Eyes. And Tom Cruise had bought the rights for it and got Cameron Crowe attached to it. I remember watching this movie years ago for the first time and liking it, and it didn't have a great review on, I think it's like 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I watched it again with my wife. I really enjoy this movie. It's weird. It's not for everybody. It's definitely it's like sci-fi romance. It's a really bizarre film, and it's funny. I remember that Tom Cruise was supposed to play Iron Man, and one of the main reasons that he didn't is because he didn't want to cover his face the entire movie. Tom Cruise's face is basically covered in makeup in this entire film.
Maybe he learned his lesson. He was like, never again.
Maybe. But I dug that movie. Either you guys, anybody seen this movie recently?
Nope.
Not recently.
I haven't seen it recently, but I do remember liking it when I saw it.
I've never seen
You
it.
were 13 when you saw that. RB3, how old were you?
I don't remember. Yeah, I probably was 13 when I saw it, honestly.
Wait, when did it come out again?
2001.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
nope,
I would have been.
younger.
I would have been 13. I never saw it. It wasn't at that age. That wasn't a movie I was interested in seeing. Like 2001 was right around before Bad Boys 2 came out. That's all
Right.
came out. So
Well, you know who's really good in the movie is Cameron Diaz. She plays a straight up like just Looney Tune, right? And it also really makes you. I mean, I'm a big fan of Penelope Cruz in general. This movie makes you fall in love with her. You understand why she's kind of like his whole entire reason for being is her in this movie, and like changes because he's a real shallow kind of. So the story, if you didn't know it, is he was left this advertising company, not advertising, it was a magazine company, I believe, by his a publishing company, excuse me, by his father, who had passed and left it to him, and he's kind of spoiled, kind of. I don't say necessarily womanizer, but he doesn't really take the relationship that he has with Cameron Diaz very serious. And then his best friend is played by Jason Lee, which he's, again, pretty it's typical that you could tell right away that it's an early 2000s movie because I feel like Jason Lee was in everything. But he's plays his best friend, and Jason Lee brings Penelope Cruz as his date to Tom Cruise's party, and Tom Cruise winds up like really falling for her. And then something happens, something tragic happens, and it just goes into this bizarre. You don't really know. It keeps you guessing. And Kurt Russell plays the doctor that is talking to him throughout this thing, and the movie just keeps you guessing. And I remember thinking, because I hadn't seen it in so long, I was like, I can't remember what happens. And at the end, at the twist, my wife finally remembers, after she's seen it, remembers it and says, "Oh yeah, this happens." I go, "We're right there." We're right there. You couldn't put it together. I go, even if I didn't, don't let me. We're like 5 minutes away from them telling what you just told me. Give me a break. It's like my friend when after he had seen Scream, he'd just seen it. He goes, "Oh, dude, you're never gonna guess it's two killers." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. Anyway,
someone did that. I was playing Last of Us 2 last night on stream, and someone was like, "Oh, just wait for this." I'm like, I don't even want to hear anything. Like, I'm literally playing the game for the first time. It says first time playthrough on the description, and you're coming in here saying, "Oh, just you wait, man." Like, oh, I hate that.
Yeah. You know what else you guys hate, and you should hate? The big wireless providers. Tell you that, because they're really they're taking advantage of you. You got to ask yourself what you're paying for. There's the expensive retail stores. You got the inflated prices. You got the hidden fees. You're taking advantage of, and they know that they can take advantage of you because they know that you're going to pay it. I've told you guys many times over the course of the last couple months here about Mint Mobile, and you asked me, well, what does it do? It provides you the same premium network coverage that you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything's online.
Ooh, sorry. There you go. You're back.
See, Mint Mobile doesn't do that. Mint Mobile doesn't have a mute button.
Did y'all play that?
No,
y'all played that, didn't you?
It doesn't have a mute button. But Mint Mobile provides the same premium network coverage that you're used to, but at a fraction of the cost because everything is done online. It saves on retail locations, overhead, and then it passes those savings directly to you. It's ahead of its time. It is locked into the future before anybody else has, and you guys can take advantage of it. It makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month. Every plan comes with unlimited nationwide talk and text. With Mint Mobile, you stop paying for unlimited data that you're never going to use. You choose between plans with a 3, 8, or 12 gigabytes or 4G LET data. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with your existing contacts. That's key. Ditch your old wireless bill and start saving with Mint Mobile. If you want to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for nothing, go to mintmobile.com/SENlive. One more time, mintmobile.com/SENlive. You cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/SENlive. So do it. Check it out. The link is in the description of this YouTube video, and if you're an audio listener, you've heard me say it, mintmobile.com/SENlive. All right, we're going to turn the SCHMOEBOT back on. This is where we want you guys to get involved in the conversation. You can interrupt the show. Basically, all you got to do is you go over to streamlabs.com/theschmoedown, put in your donations. Now, you can do one of many things. The first is to chime in on anything that we've talked about so far. The second is to bring up a topic we have not spoken about. And the third is to bring up the actors or actresses, any actor or actress of your choice, and tell us what your favorite movie is or you think their best performance is out of their entire catalog. So, again, you say, Mark Wahlberg, Boogie Nights, and the reason why I think is this. This is where we've really had the conversations with you and want to interact with the audience and really have that interaction with our community to get those opinions so then we can start talking about it also. So make sure you do that. And the other reason, the donations keep this network going, keeps us alive, and we want to make sure that the crew can continue to come back. So keep them coming, and we will start with one more topic, RB3, that I think you're very excited about. Did you hear this?
Donated $20. Hi guys, Hugh Jackman's best movie is Logan. For what he did with that character from 20 million 2017 was amazing. You see the broken and battered Logan who's giving up on life taking care of an old Professor X who's dying. When Logan finally dies, tears every time.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. I mean, it's what's funny about that is Hugh Jackman has so many great performances.
I was gonna say that. Like, I feel like we really underestimate the power of that. Hugh Jackman is so known for Wolverine, but he has so many other like blockbuster movies. Like we were just talking about Tom Cruise. Like outside of Mission Impossible, nothing Tom Cruise has done in the last decade has been that successful.
Right.
So Hugh Jackman, I feel like gets overshadowed a lot with like just how good and versatile he is. Sorry,
no, it's all right. You know that the best Tom Cruise movie as far as performance goes is that what was that one that he did where he was the
Born on 4th of July?
No. I'm talking the last
no.
He was good in that, but in the last like 5 or 10 years, I'm talking about the one that he just did. American Made, is that what the name of it was?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Where he plays the pilot drug dealer.
He's really good in that movie. Really, I mean, like Mission Impossible, of course. You know, he's jumping out of planes, and it's vacation for him, and it's fun. We like watching him on vacation, going, hey, I'm gonna jump off a cliff with a stack of dynamite, put on my nutsack. It's like, okay, great, go for it, Tom. But there's something American Made, like it made him act again, and made him like really hone in, and it was.
I think Magnolia for Tom Cruise.
I was just gonna say that's to me.
I'm talking about over what Ben Goddard said over the last like couple, because American, I mean, Magnolia is like 20 years ago. I'm talking about the last like five years,
gotcha.
like because so
Outsiders.
Exactly. That movie with Shelley Long. But yeah. So there's a couple, but that's just a preview of the conversation we're going to have at 11, because we'll get back into the Hugh Jackman thing, because I think Logan's is a great one to bring up, but there's also Les Mis. Prisoners is another one.
Prisoners. I was going to say Prisoners is mine. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. It's great. There's so many. So this is going to be a really fun topic, but we want you guys to get involved in it. So start putting in your questions now, so we can really break it down. So the other thing I was going to say to you, RB3, we were talking about when, the great Joel Schumacher had passed, you brought up Phantom of the Opera.
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming a TV series.
Right.
This is news that broke, and they said that a French company, the same company that made Narcos, is developing a new 6-part TV miniseries adaptation of the 1910 novel, The Phantom of the Opera. Alex Rider author Anthony Horowitz will pen a reimagining of the Gothic story about a disfigured composer who lives in the depths of the Paris Opera House and falls for singer Christine Day with tragic consequences. The project will be based on the classic novel and not the Andrew Lloyd Webber smash hit musical based on it. The property has been adapted to the screen many times, arguably the most faithful being the 1987 animated feature. The late Joel Schumacher helmed the film version of Webber's famed musical in 2004. The news comes as Gaumont UK recently optioned historian Julie Summers' biography on wartime Vogue editor Audrey Withers. Excuse me. So RB3, this is not based off the musical, but based off the novel. Is this a good direction to take it in, to take the story in that we've seen quite often?
Yeah, I think it's a great direction. I think people are much more familiar with the musical than they are with the actual novel, so it gives a new possibility for it to just be a straight-up, dramatized kind of interpretation of this. I think it go into more of because I actually like the Joe Schumacher movie. I know a lot of people don't like that movie that much. Yeah, I think. Well, I know Lindsey Ellis, who's like a great YouTuber. She has a video that kind of tears that movie apart. But I like the video, but I also disagree with her a little bit on that movie, because I personally think the movie's actually kind of good. And I just like the story of like this opera house that's just this ghost, and I think there's a lot of horror potential. I think there's a lot of romantic potential. I think somebody like Guillermo del Toro showed that kind of movie could work with like Crimson Peak, which is another movie I liked. So I'm really looking forward to this. And I also like it that it's not a musical, because I think frankly yeah, exactly. And I didn't like Les Mis. which is like another thing that a lot of people compare Phantom of the Opera to. I didn't like Les Mis because I thought the music kind of stood out, and I think if it wasn't a musical, I think I would have liked it a little bit more. So
did you like the Liam Neeson one? Have you seen the Liam Neeson Les Mis? Where
no, I haven't. No, I haven't seen that one. No.
Well, yeah, like I was gonna compare that because like Les Mis is obviously the famous musical that everyone's always singing. There's never song breaks. Everyone's singing their dialogue. And they did a Jeffrey Rush, Liam Neeson Les Mis with no singing, and I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, so look, this is a good. It's interesting to me because it's not based off the musical and it's based off of the novel. For everything that RB3 just kind of said, it's a different take for it, and with the 6. It's the same argument that I've had about everything, where you have basically 6 episodes to break into a novel. Then I always think novels nowadays, if I was an author of a novel, of a series.
Tim Sim donated $20. Ryan Reynolds' best film is no doubt Deadpool. That super successful rated superhero film was a game changer for him and let him be himself, which we know as of now. A truly awesome and comedic actor that enjoys making fun of himself. P.S. Let's go Stros.
Stop that. It's hard to argue with that because of what it did for his career. Because the thing with Ryan Reynolds is that Ryan Reynolds had he started off big with Van Wilder. That's what's like, who's this guy? Like, this guy should be Fletch. And he worked on Fletch and all this, and then he had a bunch of romantic comedies and some hit, some didn't. Like The Proposal worked. I know people love Just Friends.
I was gonna say Just Friends did work, Kristian. I know you hate it.
I don't get it. I'll tell you, because after listening to you guys and after listening to some of the audience, I'm like, okay, let me watch it. And and my wife's like, oh, I love this movie, and I was watching the first. I'm watching the first 45 minutes with her now, and I'm watching because I like Ryan Reynolds a lot. I don't laugh once, and I look at her. Wow. She doesn't laugh once, and I go, you haven't laughed. And I turn to her, I go, I'm just letting you know, you have not laughed once during this. And she's like, oh, well, it doesn't get funny until I go, until when? When does it get funny? And she's like, I was like, the brother's funny. I go, the brother is funny. I say the brother is funny. But funny. Anna Faris, who I love, is terrible in this movie. She's in a totally different movie. She's in a different movie.
Oh my God. I love her.
And then he's such a dick. He's a dick when he's in the beginning. He's a dick at the end. He's a dick in the he's always dick.
I donated $25. Hey everyone. Kristian, if you and crew would be so kind, could you please wish me and beautiful wife of 17 years happy anniversary in your Charles voice? We have been together for 17 years. My wife and daughter are making my life beautiful. Love you all.
Hey, all right, you know what? Here, not only will Charles do that. Happy anniversary, now you know. I have to be honest, I'm gonna know that you are the best, cause you are in a relationship, and there's people on this panel that are not. Hey you, happy anniversary. Yeah, guess what? You're gonna be married for 17, 18, 19. That's how long Ben Goddard's gonna stream for on Twitch. Now you know. Yeah, now you know. Brett's gonna cry in the shower. Now you know. I know. You now you know. And you and your wife are very special people. Now you know. Now you know. Sitting on the bus. Now you know.
Yo, you have to perform that at the expo, bro.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Hey, everybody, now you know I want to introduce guys. He created the Walkers, now you know, and he also is. They'd be like, fire this guy.
What the fuck did I sign up for?
Unbelievable. Anyway, so happy anniversary. Very, very nice of you guys. Once again. So streamlabs.com/the Let's get those conversations in. But what I was saying before about the about being an author, if you're gonna write these, now look at the Percy Jackson books, right? If there's no chance the way streaming is today, if I had written like a series of novels and someone's like, we want to make films, like fuck that, put it on a streaming series, make them a bunch. I'll sell you the TV rights. We make an actual series out of it, because you look at Phantom of the Opera, you put it based off the book on 6 episodes, a 6-hour movie. I mean, shit, man, look what they did. Mandalorian is by far. I know that I get pushback. the superior Star Wars content that we have had in a long time, and it's because of development. That's it. It's because of development. It's because you have enough time to be able to work with these characters. And if it was going to be on ABC, I'd be like, oh my God, because network television stinks. Unless you're what, reality.
Law and Order.
Yeah, Law and Order.
I mean,
right?
This Is Us is wonderful. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
No, it is. No, but you know what, Winston? It is. It's really good, but it's developed for that particular
for that medium,
and it works because like the studio audience sitcom for the most part is dead. I mean, after Big Bang Theory, it's like it very rarely works, and if it does, it's a relic of the past. Right?
I feel like the only time that I've seen it work in recent memory is on like a Nickelodeon or a Disney Channel. Like,
right for kids, sure. Like, but as far as network, the day of Cheers and Friends and all that's gone, and drama, it also works a lot better now. It's a reason why these big shows. Remember back in the day when all the shows that get nominated for the Golden Globes and the Emmys, those were all like network TV. How many shows do you see get nominated for network TV now? It's all HBO and Amazon, and whether it's Maisel or Stranger Things or Game of Thrones, it's all because you can do more. You can treat them like movies.
Even before AMC was dominating with Mad Men and Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only place the networks thrive still are with the comedies, like with not necessarily like the studio comedies, like with the multicams, but like stuff like Blackish or stuff like Fresh Off the Boat. Yeah.
Fresh Off the Boat.
But they don't. But they're not. That's not canned laughter. That's just single camera stuff, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Those and I think I miss like shows like the first season of like My Name Is Earl was really good, right? Like back in the day.
So good.
Yeah, but yes, the single camera shows can work. I'm talking about more of the studio audience. So like you're right. Blackish is crushing right now, and even when what was the show that
Modern Family?
Not Modern Family.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No, they're doing some stuff too. It's the one about the Goldbergs. The Goldbergs was another one, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like those types of shows, that's the format that I believe still works for television. But it's the ones that really make the studios money right now are the reality shows because they cost nothing to make, and they do gangbuster numbers. So if you're a network, I mean, I don't know, you go to your affiliate, whatever your streaming platform is, and you start developing stuff over there to where you can bring in these big directors and you can do stuff. Like if I'm ABC and I have a big name director come in, or if I have somebody, there's some big idea, I'm like, put it on Disney Plus or put it on Hulu. I'm like, don't put that on ABC. It's a waste. We're not going to get the kind of, I don't know. It's just because you don't get the same kind of eyes on television that you used to back in the day because you have so many options.
No, and I do feel like there is like a level of prestige now to go to a streaming service. Like people are like, oh, like we're seeing
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai just went there, and everyone's like, yes, like it's on Netflix now. It's gonna get a bigger budget. We're gonna get a season 4 for sure. Like so, everyone does get excited when it's an HBO or Amazon or Hulu show now. Right,
it's true. Okay, so moving on here, I think that's the majority. Oh, no, one last thing to talk about before we move on to the actors. And just one more reminder, guys, get those comments and questions coming in now. Put an actor or an actress in streamlabs.com/theschmoedown and tell us, what is your favorite movie by them? What do you think their best performance is, whether you like them or not? Let's start the conversation on streamlabs.com/theschmoedown. Now, the last thing is HBO Max. We talked about them before. So there was a big outcry because, what was it, 2 weeks ago, Warner Media indicated it was set to pull over a dozen features in some Dark Horizons based on DC Comics off of HBO Max on July 1st, weeks after it launched. The titles that were being pulled were Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Catwoman, Jonah Hex, The Losers, Steel, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, Wonder Woman animated feature, and the 4 Burton and Schumacher Batman films. In fact, so much was being pulled that only a few titles would be left, which were Aquaman, Shazam, Supergirl, Joker, Green Lantern, HBO's Watchmen, and Doom Patrol. Now, spokesperson said at the time, we have a collection of DC films that will rotate on the platform. We have a new batch coming in July, and then another Joker batch coming in August. They've changed their plans. 4 of these titles, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice will remain by popular demand through December. The rest, however, will still be leaving on July 1st, including the older Batman films. Joining the service on July 1st will be the 4 Christopher Reeve Superman films, the animated Superman Unbound, and Zack Snyder's Watchmen. This is all paving the way for the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which is set to drop mid-2021 on HBO Max, according to Warner Media exec Sandra Dewey this week. All right, Winston, I want to start with you here. So
you can see the disgust on my face, right?
Yeah, well, here's what I don't understand, because this is what I initially said. I was like, look, if they maybe they had rights that it had to go somewhere else, and then they're going to keep rotating and putting it back in. But here's what I don't understand: if they're able to say, oh, people are pissed, oh no, you know what? Forget it. We're going to keep Wonder Woman up there until December. Then why don't they just do that for all of them? That's what I don't understand. I thought that it was maybe a rights thing, or they had to. If you can keep them up there, why wouldn't? What do you think the reasoning is behind that?
It doesn't make logical sense to me, because the whole point and what they have pitched about HBO Max, all of your favorite shit in one place. So now you're gonna take it away from me? Like, I genuinely don't understand. If you go and look at DC Universe, I know obviously they're not doing well, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is maybe a little too niche. Is the fact that you buy that subscription and every Batman
library,
it's all there.
Yeah.
That's what made Netflix successful. That's what's made Hulu successful. That's why Disney Plus, even though it's had its ups and downs and struggles, you notice they're not like, all right, y'all, here's Lizzie McGuire for a month, and then you get Even Stevens, and then you get, Zach and Cody. Like, nah. They were like,
well, you bring up, you were listing off those shows.
I know. Oh, Winston, you were a real Disney guy,
but when you bring up the Disney Plus, though, is that so Disney Plus is, when you look at it, like for the other day, I was like, maybe I'm going to take a look and see if I can I'll watch a little bit of Solo again, right? And it's not on Disney Plus. And I was like, well, it's still on Netflix. So they have a deal still with Netflix. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe there's a deal somewhere else. But the movies that it's part of their library, I found this movie, I was watching Flight of the Navigator the other day, right? It's from
so good.
1986, and it's on there. So I was like, I haven't watched it. It's an hour and a half. I sat there and watched it, and I was like, oh man, this is great. I got very sad because I read about the poor kid who's the star of it. He had wound up having struggles and everything. Till I'm like, no, not the Flight of the Navigator kid too. He's Canadian. I want, and so, but like I was watching the whole thing, and I was just and knowing, like you said, Winston, they have this entire they own it. They own the material. It's like, if you own the material, Warner Brothers, why isn't it on there? But Goddard, what do you think this is?
It's, what we were talking about. It's just like, it's baiting people in with almost false advertising. And I always see Bibbs and Whitney talking about the importance of physical media. And this is where it comes in. Like, yes, like streaming services are great. Like, I love having them, like, entertainment. But when they're just going to kind of willy-nilly just take movies off and on, then it's just, what am I paying for? Right. Like, because there are people that literally are buying this to be like, hey, I want Studio Ghibli and I want DC. That's literally all I want from HBO Max. And for $10 a month, I can get it. Wait, no, I can't. So maybe like in September, I'm only going to have this. And it's like, okay, what am I getting? Because at least like with Disney Plus, you at least somewhat knew what you're getting, even though I told you like the only live action Disney movie I haven't seen was Cinderella. And supposedly it's the best one. And that's not available till November of this year. Like, I literally got Disney Plus the first day and I was like, I'm going to watch Cinderella because I haven't seen it. Not available for like a year.
Yeah. Oh, also, we know that this particular year, every month is equal to a year. So November is actually 5 years away.
Exactly.
I was going to say, as somebody, I used to work in international
Black
movie
don't
sales.
crack. Oh.
But the way when we used to do our deals with Netflix at the production company, so basically we would make our films, and then we would sell off the rights to different countries, and then like we would also sell off the domestic rights if we didn't have a domestic distributor already. So our Netflix deals were usually 3-year deals, and if Netflix didn't recoup the amount that they spent on publicizing it, they would then get an extra year until they recouped their marketing money. So this really doesn't make sense to me, because it seems like it would be one thing. What makes sense to me is like, well, we're not gonna have Solo until blah, blah, blah. That makes sense to me because Netflix is still doing it. But it doesn't make sense to me that you would have things now that wouldn't be available later. Like that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. So it's I don't know. Are they stirring up controversy to get people talking about it? And
I don't think they want any more controversy.
Yeah.
What is this? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
I don't want any subscribers. That's what they trying to do. They trying to be like, fuck all of y'all. I want this platform just for me, not for you, but for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's interesting. Go ahead, Arthur.
I was gonna say, I think for certain movies like probably the Nolan Batmans or something like that, I think that probably goes through a little bit more of an extra process because there is like other production companies involved. I know for a lot of these DC movies, they're co-produced by Legendary Pictures, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So now Legendary is owned by Universal. So I don't think Universal's so willing to give up, a lot of their contracts or whatever, or their access to a lot of that stuff to Warner Brothers like immediately. So on that level, I get it. I don't understand when, like you said, if there's something they already have and they're taking it off. I think their logic, what they'll probably argue is that the reason why it was on HBO Max was because it's on HBO. It was on HBO, and I think even if you see like on HBO Max, they'll even have like when they show the little thumbnails, they'll have under it HBO, and if it's not HBO, it's just on HBO Max. So I'm guessing that it has to go off just to please for the contracts for HBO. Maybe I know for sometimes that if it's off the contract for HBO, then it goes to like FX or TNT, and then it comes back to the studio or something like that. So maybe that's the kind of deal that's worked out. Right. I really don't know, and that's the kind of terrible part about having these streaming services and all these contracts is that you really don't know. So it just leads to like all the speculation. But I think they could have done better with DC. I think they could have done better with the Crunchyroll section that they have there. I think there's literally only 5 things on there. So yeah, they should have not made those promises in the beginning if they weren't going to live up to them. So I'm really confused by all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I agree with you. I agree with everybody. I think we're all on the same page. Looks like the chat's on the same page too.
I've got one quick story,
Cool
Kristian.
Cat 88 donated
Funniest
$20.
thing.
Yeah, Disney Plus doesn't have all episodes of Darkwing Duck or Goof Troop, and they own those, and also HBO Max doesn't have all episodes of Scooby-Doo. Where are you? But that's at Boomerang's streaming service. I think Airbay 3 is right.
Yeah, I think he's definitely.
Yes, Airbay 3.
Airbay. Oh, Airbay.
That's the French. That's Airbay 3. Airbay 3.
Airbay 3.
French, that's me saying it. Say Airbay 3. Me and Airbay 3 have been hanging out tonight. We watched Flight of the Navigator and shut the fuck up, Mulligan. Great. All right, go ahead, Goddard. You got a story?
Donated $20.
No, I don't.
WB is doing feels like what Adidas did for their uber popular Stan Smith sneakers by pulling them off for a few years and bring it back in a huge event for more money. Same thing applies for HBO Max, but new subscribers.
Yeah, it does. That seems that they're going to try to do. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? It's like a fishing rod. It's like, hey, no, we didn't have. How many people can we get right now that we don't have those titles? Oh, no, we have those titles right now. Don't leave, because if you leave, then you're not going to be here when we put them back.
Yeah.
And then if you do leave, all right, we'll get you back once we put them back on. It's like, it's kind of lame. It's kind of lame. Anyway, Goddard, try to tell your story again, but I'm not going to be upset if somebody cuts you off with a
Yeah. Please interrupt me, because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So Tenet had their trailer premiere on Fortnite. So you were literally playing your third-person shooting game, and you walked up to a screen and you watched Fortnite. Now they're doubling down with the Nolan, and you can watch the entirety of Inception on Fortnite. There are 3 showings this Friday, 5 a.m., 5 p.m., and 8:55 p.m. So if you guys haven't seen Inception, Fortnite is free. So download Fortnite and go grab your favorite your skin or avatar and watch some Inception.
Wait, so Goddard, I gotta ask you, because I remember, and I talked about this. You weren't on the show, and it's like you were so fucking vocal when the trailer aired on Fortnite. Look, it's not necessarily the audience, but you said there's shooting games and there's stuff inside of this game, right? And they're going after, it's the marketing team going, let's go after the younger audience, right? What's the problem with them putting on Fortnite? I don't understand.
I mean, obviously, if they want to advertise to the kids that play Fortnite and everything, you know, all ages and demographics play Fortnite. But, you know, when Star Wars had the Emperor Palpatine thing, they had like the Star Wars skins and the Millennium Falcon flying through there. That makes sense to me. That truly makes sense.
Yeah, or the Avengers when they did.
Yeah, Avengers had a Thanos game type, and it was awesome. Right. John Wick, like they had a John Wick skin where you go around, you know, collecting gold coins. So even that, you know, I don't want kids going to see John Wick, but damn. But this, like, there's no like other. They're just showing the trailer and they're not doing any like Fortnite skins or mini games. It seems strange to me.
But this is what I'm confused about. What would you? So Partish Judison says 10. It's not for the younger audience. But this is what I'm confused about. How old is the majority of people playing Fortnite? The under 13?
Most likely, yes.
Really? So
like 9, 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's a very kid-friendly game.
But it ranges. I do know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I do know 20-year-olds who do play Fortnite, 21-year-olds, 19-year-olds. So like,
who it's geared to? You're saying it's geared towards like 10 and under, right? I mean, shit. Like my daughter definitely knows about it. She doesn't play it, but I don't, and I wouldn't let her play because I don't know enough about it. Right, so it's like
it's a safe enough game, but like all the Fortnite dances, like that's what you see like kids doing, you know, when they're on Ellen or whatever, like, you know, the floss and stuff like that. You know, the floss is in literally every kids movie, like you have an animated character doing it.
It's mixed in the chat room here. Some people are saying over 18.
Carter donated $20. Interrupting $20 donation to say keep up the great work, SEN crew.
Thank you.
Please keep interrupting us, please.
Yes, please. So people are saying over 18. Some people said 14 to 15 is the medium, is the average age. Some people said 8 to 9. So it's like all over the place.
Well, I think that's exactly right. I mean, it's the same as Animal Crossing. Like I know a 38-year-old that plays Animal Crossing.
Right. But the question is who's it geared towards?
Well, that's like who is it geared towards? I have to say the people I know who play Fortnite are all 11 to 13.
Yeah. They're all there. Everybody I know that plays Fortnite is kids. I know obviously there are adults. You have plenty of NBA superstars that play and all that kind of stuff. But it is kids. But like what doesn't make sense to me, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If I'm in a battle royale and I see your ass sitting around like it's a damn drive-in movie theater, I'm killing all y'all and I'm winning. And you don't get to finish the damn movie. So what logical sense does that shit even make? In all honesty, like it doesn't make sense.
I don't know, but how about I have a challenge for the audience, and I want to see if Brett and Kate would be up for this. So if we make it to 400 today, would you and Brett do a freestyle rap?
What? Me?
Oh boy!
I would love for you. I would love for y'all to do that.
All right, so there we go. So if
I've got mad rhymes.
All right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and like this video on both my.
I'm talking about so 400 right now for donations. Talking about not likes. For donations, not on like. So on donations right now, if we hit $400,
I am now going to dislike this video.
By the way, I forgot to unmute myself after the bathroom, and I made several great jokes, and I was wondering why nobody was commenting at that.
No, we heard you.
I'm like commenting on the Fortnite. I'm like, my daughter's playing it right now. I'm like, and everybody's just talking over me. I'm like, well, fuck you guys.
Kristian, you gotta get on your RB3 soundboard game, man. That's the perfect time for an air horn or a sniper shot or something.
I gotta get the sound effects back.
Yeah, you can't be like, you have to be right on time with it. You can't have bad timing because otherwise it doesn't work.
Oh, there we go.
God damn. That's Fortnite.
It looks like baseball is coming back.
Let's
go Yankees, let's go Yankees, let's go Yankees, let's go Yankees, let's go Yankees, let's go Yankees, let's go Yankees. Love the Astros.
Love the Astros.
Kristian, I got a question for you.
Hold on, I'm gonna do an impression of that. All right, everybody, I'm gonna root for my favorite team today. Go Packers! Go Bears!
I think it's I think it was the SCHMOEBOT was like signed like a letter. Love the Astros.
Yeah, maybe it's
now it's not fun anymore, Kate. Thanks. Christ, why did we invite her back?
Ow! I got it, Kristian. I'll make all the noises with my mouth. I got it. But I have a question, Kristian. Did you see the video of Ken Griffey Jr. explaining why he hated the Yankees and shit?
No.
Oh, bro, it was amazing because he was with his dad. He was with his dad and he was in the dugout, and some security guy came down. I guess I don't know what's the name of the owner? The owner of the Yankees,
Steinbrenner.
I guess they were like, oh yeah, he says he doesn't want anybody in the dugout, and he's like, this is my son. He's like, we don't care. And then Ken Griffey Sr. was like, I want you to like see what's going on, because one of the other kids of a player was at third base, like getting like ground balls from players.
Yeah.
Like, never forget that. And so a fan goes, hey, Ken, you ever gonna come to the Yankees? Like, no. They're like, well, why not? He's like, if the Yankees were the last team to ever offer me a contract, I would retire. He's like, that's that shit that I remember.
I meant rainbows, the Astros. Stupid spelling check.
Oh,
Rainbows.
Oh, he meant rainbows, not the Astros. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Oh, he knows. I meant fuck the Astros.
So it was just super interesting to see. I was curious your whole take on it about like you Steimer just out here just being like, man, fuck it, I don't even want to.
I gotta read it. I gotta read it and see what the actual.
I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video.
Sure, but baseball is coming back. 60 games. I saw that. I actually saw that because Sam Levine is one of the biggest baseball fans I know. But I actually saw through Rachel Cushing, who is now probably one of the biggest baseball fans.
I was gonna say.
But anyway, so that's going down. 60 games, pretty interesting. The other thing going down, by the way, if you saw on Twitter, big match today. Big match on Twitch. This is going down today at 3 p.m. PST on Twitch. Do not miss this. If you've been stomping your feet saying, I'm not watching Twitch, they're too hard to find, go and watch it, because you have Molly Damon. That's right. Wife of the current Star Wars Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world. Alex Damon is going to be facing Andrew DiMolanta, who went perfect in his last match. It's going to be a full battle. The winner gets to the finals to wait for the winner of Laura Kelly and Andres Cabrera. Winston, as the manager of Andres Cabrera, you got a horse in this race between DiMolanta and Molly Damon?
I mean, I would much rather see Molly. I would much rather have my guy like run through the runner-up from last year, and then run through the family that like decided they wanted to own Star Wars, and just, you know, it's not to say that I wouldn't enjoy also playing DiMolanta, but like there would be something so poetic about beating both Damons. And then they have to sit as a family and go, God damn, we just couldn't handle that squad leader. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty good. So that match happened today at Wednesday. The other thing, as I mentioned on the Facebook group, I went through the production team yesterday. We have mapped out the remaining the season in general. We are going to be doing a total. It's going to be a 32-person tournament in singles, but with 4 play-in games. So there'll be a total of. I mean, it's going to be 36 players altogether. 32 once you get into the actual tournament. The winner will play the champion at the Spectacular. So speaking of that, we're going to be doing pay-per-view matches for fans, for the patrons, and then they will air on this channel, but very similar to the way we used to. There's going to be, our first one that we can announce is John Roca versus Ethan Irwin, #1 contender match, and there will be an undercard on that. We're also going to be doing Chandru versus Smets, and there will be an undercard on that one. Working on a few others. Dan Murrell will play the winner of Roca and Irwin for the title. We're working on Kalinowski versus Guy for a for the winner to play Ben Bateman in a #1 contender match. We're working on that. We have to see. And then Ben Bateman will play, and then whoever the champion is will have to defend within a month time. So if Irwin or Roca happen to beat Merle for the title, they would defend that title in about a month. same thing. If Dan defends the title, he would have to defend it in about a month. So there's going to be a lot. Spectacular is going to be one of two things. Spectacular 5 this year will either be right now we have a hold on the theater, the Globe Theater, for the 6th, which is Sunday. And if we are able to do live events again, then that's when it will be. If we don't, it'll be a virtual thing this year, and we're going to do it. The teams tournament, we're looking to do 8 teams this year in the tournament, and we're looking to try to shoot that at a theater. The other thing we're going to try to do is this, and this, I don't know if Kate has even talked to Goddard about this yet, but this is something that I haven't told anybody yet. So this is what we're trying to do. There's a possibility still that teams could be eliminated altogether if we can't get into a studio. But if we can get into a studio, the plan is this. Corruption will face the Founding Fathers for the titles. Then the number one contender, not number one contender match, but Shazam will face the Pride. The winner of that match will face Who's the Boss, and then the winner of that will face whoever the champions are. So, and then there will be a tournament all together. So that's kind of the plans at the moment of how it's all going to go down. Still scheduling and all that, but it's we mapped it all out. There's a couple other things here and there, but that's kind of how it's working. Pretty excited about it. Ben, you excited about playing Shazam?
Oh my gosh! Like, I need to start studying yesterday. But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be, because teams is what I realize we really can't do it online. So if it doesn't happen for the safety of others, I totally get it. I'll be upset. Like, I'll be sad, but I won't be upset. Yeah. But I'm really, really hoping that everything works out. We can get in studio or get in a theater and do this teams match. Right. Bibbs and Brendan are 2 of the best players in this game. Bibbs is one of the best showmen in this game. So I'm real excited to get back in the ring.
Yeah, people are asking about like Deep 13 and Final Exam. Well, the problem is that we can't have Paul Oyama flying here at the moment. So the chances of Final Exam playing this year as a team is probably slim to none. And they're 1-0, and the same thing with Deep 13. So Deep 13 was supposed to play Final Exam to find out who would play the Pride, but same thing. So most likely that means that Deep 13 will have a nice spot in the tournament itself, but they will not be getting that potential match because the Pride was able to play 2 matches. They're 2-0. Kate, you had something?
I was just gonna say, just a reminder to everyone.
Yes.
The Pride is 2. I know.
Because
it's a sad shame that it means free-for-all is no longer possible this season. Despite all that, thank you so much, Kristian Harloff, for doing what you need to do to map out the rest of the season in dark times like this year.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
Tim.
We had to have those conversations, and it was like certain things that we wanted to do and had to try to move. And we contemplated at one point trying to do free-for-all like via Zoom, but it was like by the time it's just too much time has passed now for free-for-all, so we'll have to bring it back next year. Yeah, so the singles, all the singles matches, any matches that are just one-on-one, they are going to be on Zoom. The only matches that we would shoot in a studio would be the teams matches with the potential of the Spectacular. But most likely even the Spectacular will be virtual this year until we get it back. But it allows us, I think what I'm going to do next year is I am going to bring back, whether we're filming in studio or not, I'm going to bring back the StreamYard matches in general and add them to focus on rookies and newer players and things like that, and be able to do tournaments like Star Wars and Inner Geekdom to where we can do both. So we might be airing close to 3 matches a week next year, but we're working on that. So, all right, Joe.
Would the free-for-all be at all doable on Zoom or StreamYards, or is that just like too much, like people going in and out and stuff?
No. I don't want.
I figured not.
Yeah, no.
Prince Tet wasn't promised donated $20. I think Max wants to pull movies to push physical media. Fortnite has 62 of their players between 18 and 24. Best role in a movie is Walken in King of New York. You can't kill people during watch-alongs. Can we get Luke and Obama talking Tenant on FN?
God damn,
that was a jam-packed.
Everything into one.
They want that freestyle. Once again, if we hit 400, we're gonna get a freestyle by Brett, and we're a little bit of ways before it. So you guys might.
Oh my God! I thought he was stretching. He was hitting the B-boy pose. Holy shit!
Well, so what was it? Luke and Obama talking about Tenet.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, President Obama, please, and you maybe want to turn the. No, we don't need to SCHMOEBOT off yet. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, I love me that John David. He's a good one. Luke, I know this is a whole new galaxy for you, but this has got to be exciting.
John David Washington, is he related to Denzel?
I'm pretty sure that's his kid.
That's his kid. He has a father. I don't have a father. Do you have a father?
I do, but he's gone.
My father was the Dark Emperor of the Empire.
And my father was also dark.
All right.
That's a button. That's a button right there.
That's called and scene.
Yeah, I will say I think that Christopher Walken's greatest performance, even though it is very short, and it's not Deer Hunter. It is it's
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
It's the Fat Boy Slim video where he's dancing around the hotel lobby.
Watch.
I think Cowbell Sketch is his best performance.
The watch up his ass. It's such a good performance.
It's pretty perfect.
Before we move on, Brett, you had a couple of words before we move on, my man?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Just forgot I was on the show. All right. So, do you experience stress or anxiety or chronic pain or have trouble sleeping at least once a week? You're not alone. Many of us do. Personally, I got a bunch of anxiety when Kristian was mentioning a match for the Schmoedown that he hasn't mentioned yet, and I thought he was going to say my name, and I started to freak out a little bit. So that's why I had to discover something like Feels. Feels is a premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. It helps you reduce stress, anxiety, and pain and sleeplessness naturally. I'm sure a lot of people are having trouble sleeping. I have a lot of trouble sleeping, and if you dial this in right, this will knock you right out. You place a few drops of Feels under your tongue, and you feel the difference within minutes. The thing to remember with CBD is it's finding the right dose is important, and everyone's dose is different. So you leave room for experiment over a course of a week or so, and you need to take more or less, and it depends on, you dial it in, and that's why they have a hotline also for you to talk to them about this and how to guide your personal experience. It works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, hangover, or addiction. Join the Feels community to get Feels delivered to your doorstep every month. You can save money on every order, and you can cancel or pause at any time. Feels has me feeling better my best every day. Better my best. Yes, it is. And it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/SEN and get 50% off your first order and free shipping. That's FEALS.com/SEN to become a member and get 50% off taken automatically off your first order and free shipping. Feels.com/SEN.
So
you, Kristian.
Thank you. I actually have in the link of this video, you can find the link for Feels and Mint Mobile. So you can go ahead and check that out. The links are in the description of this video. And if you're watching on replay, you can take a look in the description. If you're not, if you listen on audio, you can just listen to those links, listen to those. And Brett is a big proponent of Feels, and it's always. And who was I talking? I was talking to a friend yesterday about it. And they thought it was really interesting, and they're looking into Feels also. So, Feels, Brett, I'm glad. And your mom was on the phone. Your mom got some good customer service the other day from Feels.
Yeah. She called because she was having a little trouble because I was like, you just type in the thing. And she's like, I don't get it. So she called them up, and they helped her figure out which one she should get, which dosage, and everything like that. And she sent me the email that I forwarded to Kristian that said, hey, so great talking to you today, and so glad that your son's on a show with a sponsorship with us. And so she was dropping names, man. She was getting that in there. So, but they got back to her right away. It was super cool, and it was good to hear that that they actually, she spoke to a person and they got back to her right away.
Can I demonstrate what I imagined the conversation was?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Hi, this is Julie Sheridan. I'm Brett Sheridan's mom. Sorry, what? Oh, Brett Sheridan. You know. He's on SEN Live. That's my son. No, Brett Sheridan. That's my son. I love it. I love Julie Sheridan. Julie Sheridan, if you're watching, we love you.
Wait, you said who was your son?
Yeah.
Brett Sheridan. He's on Brett Sheridan. He's on the show that.
Oh, well,
he's your sponsor.
Well,
you're sponsor.
He's our sponsor?
Well, no, I don't. How does it work?
Well,
he does your.
Well, he
does your commercials. He's your commercial guy.
Well, we do sponsor quite a lot of shows on here.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
He does all of them?
He does that. He does the one that matters.
He must be very important. Well, okay.
It's Brett Sheridan. Look him up. Just Google. I'll wait. Google him now. Google. Actually, you know what? Put this in. You're gonna love it. Put in Flirtin Flaus.
Oh, wait, so Flirtin Flaus is your son?
Yes!
All right, Ben, let's get over. Now we're going to start streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. And to no one's surprise, Julie Sheridan is actually in the chat room.
Yes!
Streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Let's get to both the topics that we've talked about. So this is how you do it. If you get anything you want to talk about that we've talked about so far, anything that we did not talk about, whether it's
Marshall Weeks donated $20. Favorite actor is Denzel Washington, and his best performance is The Hurricane. His portrayal of Reuben Carter was inspirational and got me to read the book. He should have won an Oscar for this performance. Honorable mention performance John Q. Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett. So I think that most people agree, and I think the reason why he won for Training Day was because he got snubbed in The Hurricane.
It's funny. I think the reason he won for Training Day is because he got snubbed in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia
and Malcolm X.
is I think it's
but Hurricane was the year before. That's why. I mean, everyone thought that he was going to win.
I thought Philadelphia was right before.
No, Philadelphia was like 93.
Okay. That's his best.
He's really good in that also, yeah. He's really good in that movie because of what he goes in. What I like about that movie, in his performance in Philadelphia, is you look at it's such a human performance, and what I mean by that is like it's real. It's like they don't try to portray him as this guy who just understands right away and he's like this angel of a human being. No, he's a bit of a bigot in the beginning of it, and he's a bit of a he doesn't understand, and he's naive about it, and he's arrogant about it, and then once and where everyone is turning away from Tom Hanks, he wants to also. But he doesn't, and he learns more, and he shows more, and he gets more information about it, and he starts to get invested, and because of that, you're invested, and you're becoming educated as he's becoming educated, and that's what's so good about that performance in general.
Specifically the scene where the opera is playing, there's like the fire is going, and he's like trying to go over Tom Hanks's deposition or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's just watching Tom Hanks. And his eyes are like, I don't know how Denzel Washington can summon tears the way he does.
That one tear. He's got
the single tear in glory.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's to me that is like just watching him watch Tom Hanks. You see the character changing, and then he says at the very end of it, he's like, "I think we're good for tomorrow." It's unbelievable because it's in theory it's Tom Hanks' scene, but it's Denzel Washington's scene all the way. I love it.
I gotta go. Go RB3. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, for shouting out Denzel performances, I do gotta say I think I love Training Day, I love Philadelphia, I love Hurricane, but I think unequivocally his best performance is Malcolm X. And I think if people haven't watched Malcolm X, it's a drastic time. You got to go out there and watch it now, especially during this
donated
climate.
$20. Hey Brett. Hey Kate. Hey Nobodies. Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction is good, but a role that's better is his scene in True Romance with Dennis Hopper. Shit. Dennis Hopper's best role/scene. Love ya.
Yeah, that was one too.
That one is insane. Just that,
I mean, Dennis Hopper's best work is by far the Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
Not gonna twist.
I mean, if you're gonna, go like really legit best. It's Super Mario Brothers.
But also Denzel.
We'll talk about film, I guess. Winston.
But Denzel. For me, it's John Q. I no matter what I watch, nothing gets me the way that movie does. I know that could really be more the writing than it is his performance, but he 1,000% brings it, and it's whether a lot of times that's the thing, you kind of need it top to bottom, because I was gonna, just to get under RB3 skin, I was gonna bring up Michael B. Jordan, and I was gonna say his best performance is Fruitvale Station,
Oh my God!
Michael B. Jordan. Oh yeah.
Well, just because RB3 doesn't like him, someone
will bring him up. But I do want to get some of these questions here too, as we have about 40 minutes left on the show. Streamlabs.com/theschmoedown. All right, Ben, we'll start with what, Gerby 1221 here?
Yeah, I got them right here. Guys, make sure also you guys are liking the video. We have almost 800 people watching and 350 likes. Let's get at least to 500 before we end the video.
I think Chris Pine's best performance is in Hell or High Water. Very good movie with a layered performance by Pine. Jeff Bridges is also great in the film. Schlong.
I haven't heard Schlong.
Trash Panda donated $20.
Uh-oh, guys.
Drunk Brett trying to order a pizza over the phone but accidentally calls Kristian, who is smoking blunts with the SEN crew debating their favorite Tom Cruise movies.
That's really specific.
No, there's so much room.
Pants donated $20. Big Bang, my favorite Robin Williams performance is Mrs. Doubtfire. I watched it last night and it had me laughing, and the court scene towards the end had me in tears. To me, it was his best performance.
It was. Let's start. We're gonna hit those impressions, and we're also gonna get to a lot of the discussion. Let's start with Gerby.
Yep. Question for the crew: if someone is on an elevator alone, cuts a fart, and when they get off, no one else gets back on, should they still feel guilty? Asking for a friend.
Samir donated
also,
$20.
Hi, Brett.
Drip on this. Swag, 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 swag.
Nice. Very nice.
Did that start off drip on this?
Maybe so.
Oh,
dirty. Dirty. The answer to that question is no. You shouldn't feel guilty, and you also shouldn't feel guilty if you fart in the car before the valet gets in, if over $20.
Donated $20. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. You guys are cool. Just from recent films, Ledger's best is Joker. Professor Crow, RB3 White Man, and Anaconda Brett talking about streaming services taking all our money, please.
Professor Crow does not do stream SCHMOEBOTS. She's told me that.
She cannot be bought.
Yeah. But again, RB3, you agree with me there, right? If you pull up to a restaurant and you know at the restaurant alone you're probably going to spend like $60, and then the valet alone is 20. You have every right to fart in the car before
Kristian, if the valet is over 5, I'm ripping one in that motherfucker before I get out.
If the valet is 20, you might be spending a little more than $60 at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So if I'm paying
$60 at Applebee's,
I'm just saying, have you ever pulled up, like, you know, sometimes when there's no parking anywhere, they hit you with like when you, by the way, if you're going to, like, you're parking at like a stadium, you have the right to park in the car, around the car, next to the person who takes the money. You can, because they charge you an arm and a leg because they rent that thing out, and that's how they make their money. But you have the right to blast whatever you want to. Buy one of those sausages off one of the carts as you're walking through, and then just go to town.
Kristian, if I'm spending $20 on valet, I'm shitting in my own car before I go inside. Fuck that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's get to the next one.
You're going full spider face there, Winston. Cut off your nose to spider face.
You just went heel to the valet.
Sith 317. Hi guys, big fan. Thank you for all you do. I want to especially shout out to Kristian because back in 2018, my mom was really sick and I watched Collider live, and that made me smile and laugh during that time. Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sith. Half-ass the whole ass. Love watching, love having the crew back, and intend to donate what little I can when I can. Kristian, can you give us any deets in regards to the tweet yesterday that the Schmoedown is planned out for the remainder of the season?
Well, I guess I can beforehand.
Hi, Brett.
Yeah. Well, that came in before. Yeah. So just to reiterate, it's a big tournament. The potential of what we can do with teams, the title matches. Someone said, "Oh, don't put title matches on virtual." Well, when else can I do them? We can't do them any other, because you have to realize the thing is that we're only going to have set amount of days. We're basically going to have to shoot an 8-team tournament in 2 days. We're going to have to shoot 2 play-in matches for the teams in those 2 or 3 days, and then contender matches and title matches also. So we have to do the entire team season, and we found out a way to do the round 4 for and I already pitched it to all the champions. They love it. Some of them love it better than the actual speed round itself. So we're going to be doing. We have a new round 4 that we'll be doing 4 title matches. So. All right.
Kristian, how nervous do you get whenever somebody says, "Kristian, can you respond to the tweet?"
Next.
Well, I've banned my friends from saying, "Hey, guess what?" during quarantine. I'm like, no, you can't tease me like that with that. I don't know. Travis D. Hey, Kristian, what are your thoughts on Trevorrow Atlantis announcements? Been rooting for the dude for years now. Very excited to see his project. And in case Roka is watching, it's Trevorrow, not Trevorrow.
It's Trevorrow. I don't know enough about the Atlantis. When is that?
It just got announced yesterday that he's directing a movie called Atlantis. We don't know if it's like the Disney remake. We don't know if it's an Aquaman thing. We have nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't
know.
know
if it's about the resort. We don't know if it's about the resort in the Bahamas. You know?
I just don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it. So, all right. What's next?
Kristian gave a Brett response right there too. I just want to point that out.
I don't know enough about it. It's one of those. It's like, what do you think it could be cool? I'll do my Brett. So Brett, RB3, ask me about the topic.
So, how do you feel about Colin Trevorrow directing the new Atlantis movie?
That's great. It's great.
Hey, I read the fucking articles. You know? I knew they were making Hamilton the film. I go to the bottom.
You did. That's what he's able to do.
I need that shirt for Brett. Hey, ...
Read the
articles. Read the fucking articles.
That's a lot for me. I'm not much of a reader, as they say.
RB3, do you have that clip that I sent you by any chance? Did you put that in there yet or not yet?
Not yet. No.
I'm gonna play. I want to play this because someone put this in the actual Facebook group today, and it's really funny. If you haven't heard this, listen to this.
Hello? Guess what? What? You really want to know? Yes! Fuck you!
I was ready for a guy code. I just say 15.
Listen.
You! Fuck you! Fuck you! No! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! What's your name? What? What's your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? What? What's your name? Ezekiel! Ezekiel? That just fucking sucks!
The ending's the best.
Hey! Guess what I did last night? Don't you fucking bring my money to this! Guess what I did? What? I built that fire over there. And then I fucked your mother next to it. Fuck you! 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 Hey! Guess what I got in this bag?
And then he pulls out the middle finger. It's really. I got a real kick out of that this morning. I got like that was one. It's not the same guy doing both voices, is it? I don't know. It seems maybe it is. Maybe it is. It could be. But the way that they shoot it is that one guy's all the way across the water from this other guy and screaming. It's really funny. I've never seen it before. But then there was something else that someone sent or approved in the Facebook group about these guys are just rapping. But it's oh my god, it's so ridiculous. I can't.
It's
even
like the rap we might have tomorrow.
Yeah, we might have to. We'll probably have to if we hit our number, then we're probably gonna have to.
I think we already hit it, Kristian.
Oh man,
I'll take a look.
RB3.
I'll take a look. We'll take a look in a second, and then we'll see, and then we'll go over, and then we'll probably have them maybe do it in tomorrow's show for the freestyle. So.
Oh, great! Then I can write it.
I tell you what. Spoiler alert. Mine's gonna start with "My name is Brett, and I'm here to say."
I like that.
Can I hype man his freestyle, please?
Absolutely. All right, Ben, what's next?
Yeah, let me follow that up. Adrian Tejeda. Hey crew, glad everyone's back. I've been waiting to tune in live during a show with both Kristian and Kate because I was watching an old Schmoes No review of 2010's A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Kate popped up in the review and was still hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I forgot I reviewed that one.
Yeah.
Sports 317. Hey guys, what's up? Question. Kristian, now that baseball is back, finally, how do you feel about Yankees winning the division in 60 games? Also, I want to tell you guys thank you for making me laugh. I need it. Go Yankees, Lakers, and Anaheim Ducks.
Oh. I mean, there's certainly a chance. I mean, look, 60 games. The positive and the negative is that you can go on a real big run and then your season's over. The big negative is that you don't go on. Sometimes these teams take a bit to really pick up, find their vibe, find their rhythm, and usually it could take them 20, 30 games, and by that the season will be halfway over. So it's going to be a very, very different year, obviously, than most. So I don't know. Could they win it? Of course they could win it. Could any of these teams? Yeah.
Are they doing fans in the stadiums?
I don't know.
They shouldn't.
I don't think so.
That would be a bad move.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it would be, but I know different states have different.
I don't think so because I know the NBA is doing in Orlando at Disney World, and they're not allowing fans in, but they're doing all the teams. So I think that'll probably be the way to go. And even with that, even a lot of Lakers players, well, not a lot of Lakers players, one Laker player is already confirmed to not even come out and play because of.
Well, yeah, because people are still testing positive. Like I think some of the Spurs tested positive. I think some of the Trailblazers tested positive. Like people are still testing positive, and then Florida just exploded with 8,000 new cases. So it's like, damn, should we do this in Florida?
Stop spreading lies, Ben. You don't know anything.
I'm not Joe Rogan. What am I talking about?
Oh my god!
All right, what's the next one?
Review and play 23. Imagine if you had a friend who says he has a product he will sell to others for a profit. He asks you to invest because in a few years he will pay you 10 times more. His business works. He keeps asking for more and more money, which he spends on product. That's Netflix.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Lancaster donated $20. The newest guy to me is Tom Cruise's best role. The intense relationship drama it portrayed while filming during the dissolve of his relationship with Nicole Kidman, coupled with the main character's struggle with vanity, make it his most personal film.
That's a great point. Look, it is a great performance, and like I said, I think it was also courageous in the fact that he had built a career at that point on he's a good-looking guy. And his whole face is either mangled or he's in a mask the entire time, for at least 60% of the movie. Kurt Russell, though, is just underrated in that movie too, because he's kind of like the father figure, even though he's kind of talking to him as a doctor, but there's just something so welcoming and like warm about Kurt Russell, right? You just want to either have a beer with him or you want him to be your pops, So it's like. And he's such a great, and that's someone to kind of transition to also is Kurt Russell, because I still think Big Trouble in Little China is his best because he's able to turn it around and do something like so sarcastic and still be tough but still be vulnerable. So Kurt Russell is one of my he's one of my favorite actors, I would say also.
Kristian, did you ever watch Christmas Chronicles with your kids?
I started watching it, and I don't know what happened. It wasn't that it wasn't good. It was just we just never finished it. But what I saw so far, it was pretty good.
It's not a great movie, but damn if Kurt Russell isn't giving 120 fucking percent being a Santa that dances around with CGI elves. It's insane, and he's top 5 Santa. Like, that's not the best Christmas movie, but he's top 5 Santas.
Keep going. All right, what's the next one here?
West Side Nerd. Morning, SEN crew. So to answer your question, Kristian, my pick would be Schwarzenegger. And best film, I believe, even though T2 would have been the obvious choice, my answer instead would be True Lies.
Yeah, I gotta go Predator. I
love True Lies, but Predator is probably one of his better ones for sure.
First of all, you're all wrong. The answer is Jingle All the Way.
Get the fuck out of here.
All the way. Put the cookie down.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think Schwarzenegger did one pretty recently too. That was really good. Maggie, if I'm not mistaken.
I never watched it. Was it good, RB3?
I think it was great. I think he had a great performance in that too.
It was good in that. But yeah, I mean, Jingle All the Way. I mean, if you Winston, how old were you when you saw that movie? You were young, right?
Oh God, that was '96, right? So I would have been like 9.
Yeah. So I'll give you a pass. When you see it when you're like 14 or 15, it's like, no thanks.
I mean, look, man, Jingle All the Way and Batman and Robin. I mean, it's peak Schwarzenegger right there, yo. Peak
Twins.
Twins is a good one. Twins is
good.
Total Recall. Honestly, though, Total Recall. Total Recall was great.
Yakety yak. Don't talk back. My favorite.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's best performance is Twister.
Oh my God. He's so good in Boogie Nights. He's so good in everything, but he's so
good in everything.
Even though I don't love the movie, The Master, so good in that.
Along Came Polly. Make it rain.
You like that movie too?
I only like that part. Just that basketball scene is funny. Like he's just like white chocolate.
Yeah. All right, Ryan White.
Ryan White. My favorite actor is Michael Fassbender, and I think his best movie is Steve Jobs. So much amazing dialogue. Wanted him to win the Oscar.
I loved him in that movie. I loved him in the movie because that movie, you remember, it went through so.
Dwayne donated $20. Hey, you all, The Rock best performances when he kick everyone candy joyful in WWE back in day. Some know what's some of y'all best vacation you all took with families as a kid or now. Hope this 20 help tomorrow for the freestyle tomorrow.
That definitely helped with the freestyle.
I'll take that 25-part question.
My favorite vacation, it has to be going to Hawaii with my 2 girls and my wife last year. It was a lot of fun, and it really made me miss it this year because of everything going on. And like it was very nice. It was very relaxing, and I'd like to go back again. Hawaii is my favorite place to go, and Maui is my favorite place to go. So I've been there twice, and I want to go back.
I want to go back too. I haven't been since I was like 10.
Never been.
It's good.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite vacation too. I didn't go with family, but my buddy from high school and his mentor took me. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
It's beautiful. It's relaxing. It's just like there's nothing like him in that warm Hawaii air on your face as you're looking at the water and seeing the volcanoes in the background. I mean, it was like, it's the definition of peace. Mm-hmm. It's really, I swear to God, I've said this forever. If somebody just dumped a truckload of money in my bank account tomorrow and said, get out of here. We don't want you here anymore, but here's the money. I'm just going and I'm living in Hawaii. That's it. You're never going to see me ever again. Tomorrow. So what's next?
Jake Berlin has spoken as my favorite actor. Michael Fassbender. Sorry. Jake Berlin has spoken. I said the other day that I like Steve Jobs better than Social Network.
Oh yeah. Well, so Steve.
I don't agree with that. But.
So Steve Jobs, because it went through because it was Christian Bale that was supposed to do it for a while, and then it dropped out, and there was someone else that was involved. I can't remember who else was involved.
Fincher.
Well, no, that's right. But I meant another actor. But anyway, so and then they finally get Fassbender, and everybody, he doesn't look anything like him, and he doesn't look anything like him in the movie, but he still, I think, nailed what the essence. If you've read Steve Jobs, anything about Steve Jobs, the essence of what it was, and they really went into it. I loved that movie. I would say that The Social Network is a better movie, but I think that Fassbender did infinitely better than Eisenberg. So honestly, playing. You didn't think Eisenberg was good? I'm not saying that he wasn't. I'm just saying that even if Eisenberg hit an A, like Fassbender hit an A++++. You know what I'm saying?
But also, like after seeing Mark Zuckerberg testify, he's not coming out with those zingers like he's got in Sorkin's dialogue. He doesn't have those comebacks.
Jonathan Caro donated $22. Kristian, get ready for an impression. Maybe. We'll see. One of my favorite actors is Al Pacino, and picking his best performance is difficult. But his best is The Godfather Part 2. Chilling and quietly evil with a powerful presence.
Well, clearly you haven't seen Jack and Jill. You gotta step up when you think about me. There's tons of stuff I've done. Tons. But Jack and Jill, oh boy. I mean, come on. You got stuff
You got stuff. I don't even know what it was. Somebody put it on the table. I said, what the hell is this? Oh my God. It's terrible.
You didn't mention Dunkachino's once.
Dunkachino's.
Oh.
Dunkachino, you want to talk about Huachino? I didn't even know what's going on in that movie. Someone said, you're going to be Dunkachino. I said, what'd you say? He said, Dunkachino. I said, fuck you.
That movie, man. It's a Jack and Jill is so bad. I would say Scent of a Woman, yeah, for sure.
No, I thought you were gonna say Heat.
Now, Heat is my favorite, one of my favorite Pacino movies. Not just talking about The Godfather, obviously, but Heat's one of my favorite movies of all time and one of Pacino's. And he's got some great zingers in it, and he's amazing in it. There's no doubt about it. It's like, Ralph, you can sit here and you can fuck my wife, but you can't watch my TV. And he throws the TV, and he takes the TV in his car and throws it out in the middle of by a bus stop, and it's like so ridiculous. It's so over the top. It's incredible. It's like my favorite line is so much improv going on in that movie with Tone Loc. I mention on the show all the time when Tone Loc says to him, he goes, "Man, I get killed for telling you this shit. You get killed walking your doggy." So it's so over the top. Anyway, so we have another question here.
Yeah, Jake Berlin has spoken. As my favorite actor currently working, Jake Gyllenhaal is always incredible, but Nightcrawler is a whole other level.
Hands down. There's nothing that he's had a lot of great performances. Maybe Prince of Persia.
But $20. I lived in Oahu/Hawaii for about 4 months to miss the water and how green it is, but don't miss the huge cockroaches and huge grasshoppers, and the locals look at you funny. Way different than vacationing. Christian Bale in Prestige, I think, is his best.
Gotta say Machinist.
Christian Bale in Vice.
Fire of the Sun.
Like Dick Cheney, he was incredible.
Or The Fighter, man. He's so
Or
good.
The Big Short.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to pick with him. It's like picking like a Daniel Day-Lewis favorite, also, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's so.
He's just that good.
I'm combining best child performance and best performance. Empire of the Sun. Christian Bale.
Swing Kids, get out of here.
I'm not joking.
Swing Kids, Jesus Christ.
American Psycho, I completely forgot.
Yeah. What's your next one, Ben?
Ace Money. Christian, I love Vanilla Sky. I think it's Tom Cruise's best performance is in Magnolia. Also, I watched Commando for the first time last night. Bennett is probably the worst action movie villain ever. It was fun though.
He's like a big, flabby Freddie Mercury.
Like, how are they comparing him to John Matrix the whole movie?
It's amazing. He really looks like Freddie Mercury, and his arms are like hanging out, and he's able to fight him, and it's like, how can this guy stand? He's got
chainmail on.
but he's great. He's great. I love him in that movie because he's so. I'm not going to shoot you between the eyes. I'm going to shoot you between the balls. And he's like, blow off some steam, Bennett. And it's so dumb. He throws the fucking pipe in, and the steam's coming out of his belly. It's wonderfully ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sweaty Ben with the Schmobot. D-Train. The best movie Leo DiCaprio in was Inception. I would like to know your guys' opinion of what's DiCaprio's best movie.
Performance or best movie? There's two different things. I mean, for me, my favorite DiCaprio movie, it's so tough. My two could go back and forth. My favorite of his two movies, it's either Inception or Wolf of Wall Street. Those are my two favorites. Out of the performances, out of the two, Wolf of Wall Street's the better performance. But Revenant's a great performance. But I would say out of those two performances, I would say that the Wolf of Wall Street is his best performance, followed by Inception being my Inception and Wolf of Wall Street. I go back and forth with. I love those movies very much.
As far as his performance, I feel like Inception is maybe personally, I feel like it's a better movie. Though I love Wolf of Wall Street at the top, but his performance in Wolf of Wall Street is
the best.
Next level shit, bro.
It's so good.
I'm telling you, we're forgetting when he was a child. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
I think it's down his best performance, because how can a kid play that with such respect? Like, if you asked a kid to play somebody who had, I forget what it was specifically, but you would never get that sort of nuanced, like, it was like a very I don't know. I thought he was unbelievable in that. I remember he was like new at the time too. I was like, how'd they get that kid to do that? He's amazing. Because I thought he was disabled.
Right. He's got some great look. Aviator.
I was going to say
God.
Aviator.
Oh, yeah.
Me personally.
Yeah. Aviator.
Look, I was gonna say Django because I'm not a big shouty Leo fan, and I feel like he does like a lot of quiet stuff in that movie, and you hate him
so much
from the get.
So Leonardo DiCaprio to me became a guy that like I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch some of his movies, but he's so damn whiny and he screams and kind of whines a lot of the time. And then that switched with The Departed. Like once The Departed, I became like someone who like enjoyed. I was okay watching to like a massive fan. Like everything that he comes out with now, I gotta see. Because I think he's that great of an actor. Like I love Revenant, Wolf of Wall Street's one of my favorite movies of all time. Inception's one of my favorite movies of all time. Obviously Titanic. He even talks about he doesn't love his performance in that movie. You go back and the performance is fine, but he's grown as a human being so much since then. But I like Titanic very much.
Me too.
I think it's a really good.
Liking Titanic.
I think.
I think it was popular, wasn't it?
I think it was a little.
Might have been a couple people.
It's one of those indie films that popped on VHS.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one?
Impulse 67. My answer is Tom Hanks' Philadelphia. Oh my God, I cried a lot during that movie. I saw a lot of Tom Hanks films before that, and when I saw Philadelphia, I cried and studied the AIDS epidemic in high school 10 years ago. Wow, love you guys.
Yeah, I would say for me, his best performance is Castaway.
Not Forrest Gump.
No,
Forrest Gump for me.
I
We're
think
on the same page, are we three?
only because Castaway he had to do a lot by himself. He didn't have anybody to play off of except a fucking beach ball, and it was that believable. And that plane scene is so. Forrest Gump, I think I like better than Castaway, but the performance I think is better in Castaway.
I like him in Road to Perdition because it was something he hadn't done. It was, like Tom Hanks is our dad, and now he's like gunning down people in the street and stuff. It's crazy. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, Saving Private Ryan too.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Shit, Kate. How can I forget? That's my favorite Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
Toy Story. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I had a whole thing on it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What the hell that was? I watched Saving Private Ryan like a couple weeks ago, and that movie it's so fucking good. It's so good.
I need to watch that and Band of Brothers. Like my yearly rewatch of those.
Band of Brothers is probably the best miniseries of all time. All right, what's next?
Sir Lord Attenborough. Hey, all. Kristian, congrats on the news about the expo. Happy for all your success. My actor is Denzel Washington, and his two best movies are Glory and The Hurricane, for which he should have won Academy Awards. He did win for Glory. He should have 3 statues at least.
At least.
Yeah. So the other one that no one mentions that I mentioned is Heart Condition. Bob Hoskins.
I remember.
Yeah, I brought that up. Can you switch to Super Chat real quick, Ben? Let's get some Super Chats.
All right, 624. Flash 18487. Let's get Mark Riley back on the show.
He's on tomorrow. He's on tomorrow.
Nope, never gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Ross Bristow, Ben, Kate, Winston. For you guys, like my favorite movie, Hook.
Oh yeah.
For which one? For Robin?
Doesn't say. Just says
I'm
favorite
assuming
movie.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, he's really good. I mean, best performance for Robin Williams is either Good Will Hunting or 1 Hour Photo. Those are the two best.
1 Hour Photo. I forgot about that.
Those are the two.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball though.
Yeah.
His guest star appearance. No, his guest star appearance on Law and Order SVU.
Oh,
that's good.
It was.
Winston, we're talking about movies today. On the
I've seen SVU. It's essentially a movie.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
Go ahead. Are we through?
No, I was going to say, I think there's an actual legitimate argument for a Latin for voiceover performance.
I agree. I 1,000% agree.
I'm the SCHMOEBOT, and I'm here to say I can make your mom come from across the way. I'm like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. My hook's got me scoring. She's coming from across the bar. I'm not Tiger Woods, but she tells me I'm always par.
Somebody went fucking crazy with that. All right, let's go back.
Brett, would you like to handle that 75 part?
Yeah.
I think that was a rap tune, wasn't it?
It was.
Speaking of a rap, get ready tomorrow because you guys are doing your freestyle tomorrow.
Rap music.
Wait, it's tomorrow. It's not today.
Oh, sorry, Winston. We're gonna do it because we got to get through this. Because what we're gonna do, actually, we're gonna have we've already formatted the show tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're gonna have the freestyle rap, and we're gonna continue this conversation because there's so many actors and we haven't even hit on. There's so many actresses out there that we haven't touched upon. So we're gonna do. I think we'll make this part 2. We could even make this a part 3.
This is for the rest of the week.
Honestly, so I think right now we're gonna continue on here. If we don't get to your question by 12 o'clock, we'll make sure that we continue this on tomorrow. But let's get some more super chats in there.
The Ailment, Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon, Lumet's directing, and Cazale's role also, but Pacino is unpredictable and somehow quite explosive. Suspense personified.
That's Storm Shadow Rocks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was The Ailment.
Oh.
Emperor Dethroned.
Oh, sorry. Here, go ahead.
Yeah. Favorite Denise Richards role is the one she based all of her other characters off after is 94's Tammy and the T-Rex. It's exactly what you expect from her.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Tumbling Tornado. I'm just pooped thinking about all these streaming services.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Samir, yo, Brett, you sold me on the feel. First shipment will be arriving soon. Excellent promotion, buddy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Let us know. What
So Samir is Brett's mom's burner account.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, make sure you say that you're Brett's dad or something.
Yeah.
No chance that was Brett's mom's burner account because she does not know how to use SuperChat.
Prince, that wasn't promised. So Winston, you were gonna rock out on the front seat.
I mean, fuck it.
Kristian, did you hear the show yesterday?
Which
Oh
part?
my God.
Well, Roxy?
No, what did she say? What happened?
She thought.
Wait, what happened?
Tell me, I didn't
Go
get a
ahead,
chance.
RB3.
What happened?
No, Kate, you'll be.
Okay. We were talking about how how Roka had said that the Mandalorian was rocking out on my chest. And Roxy's like, wait, what is rocking out? And she's like, oh, I had a friend that did that, had somebody shit on her chest in high school. And we were like, what?
Nope.
Me, Daddy's having trouble.
But I don't even understand what is rocking on my chest mean.
Daddy boy, it's me. Daddy's having trouble.
Whatever you think it might mean, if your immediate example is, oh yeah, I know what it is now. It's somebody I know a girl that had someone shit on her chest.
Yeah, that's where you go first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give Roxy a pass for that. Come on now.
I would too, because she's like rocks, like, and then I'm like, okay, so she has hard rock poop. Now we know, but for me, it was that she immediately was like, oh yeah, I had a girl. I was like, in high school.
Wow.
Don't let people shit on their chest. A high schooler?
All right, let's do the next one here. Did we miss one?
No. Nalia YouTuber with the support. Thank you for that. Trash Panda RB3. Can you auto tune Brett's rap like Travis Scott?
I could try.
Please.
Can you write it?
I'm not a rapper.
Movie Man 82. Performance that moved me most was Jodie Foster in Contact. Her impassioned moment at the courtroom scene at the end, when she goes to the alien world. They should have sent a poet. Incredible.
What was it?
Jodie Foster in Contact.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Contact. What was her? I mean, for her, you have to say either the
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. That's it.
Or even Taxi Driver, man. She was really good in Taxi Driver.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
Tom saying press it. Renee Zellweger and Judy was such a power performance, made this guy tear up. That's a good movie. That's a sad movie, though.
Who in the fuck is Renee Zellweger?
I love Chicago.
Wait, which is her best performance? I mean, yeah, Jerry Maguire.
Her best performance was prior to any of that.
Empire Records
did to her face.
No, she looks. She's. I think that she cut it out.
God.
I think her best performance is Judy, yes. But the different Kate, it was getting bad, but I think she cut it out because I saw.
Oh, yeah,
her.
we know that works well. That your face just goes back to normal.
I'm telling you, I saw her at the premiere of Judy, and she looked good. She looked real good.
Come on, Kate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, can you do an impression?
Well, no. Now she has a southern accent.
Oh, okay.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, can you do her Oscar speech real quick for us?
No, we'll be here for a month.
Yeah, it was all over the place.
Yeah,
Poor thing. Poor thing. Yeah.
I just assumed she was drunk.
Yeah, I think she was. Wiley Henry, Kurt Russell for me. Drama, comedy, action. Also in a movie with Elvis and played Elvis.
Tombstone, also.
Oh God, yes. Escape from New York.
I mean, the Fox and the Hound, Kurt Russell. I'm just saying.
Shit, he was in that. That's right. And who? So, Kate, here's another quiz for you. Who played young? Was it Copper or Todd?
Copper or Todd?
It was Todd. Who played young Todd?
Corey Feldman.
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow!
And Mulligan with the point.
Corey Feldman.
That's at least a 3-pointer, if not 5.
That's a 3-pointer.
Roberto Taylor, best Brad Pitt performance is in Moneyball. Go A's.
Ooh, True Romance.
Was good in
True Romance.
Great True Romance. Legends of the Fall, he's really good in too, man.
Really?
Gotta send me.
And Glorious Bastards.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's great in that. The
Also,
Big
Once
Short.
Upon a Time in Hollywood. I have to say,
Yep.
I really loved him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No doubt. He was, he won the Oscar for it. He was great in that movie. He was, because everyone, you look at DiCaprio, obviously, who was also phenomenal in the film, but Brad Pitt steals that movie. He steals that movie.
Walks off with it.
Yep.
Deadpool 2. He killed that shit. He literally killed that shit.
Fury, Fight Club. I mean, come on.
I was gonna say 7. 7's my
7. Oh yeah.
Or
What's in the box?
Actually, Snatch. Snatch is my his accent in Snatch is just like so good.
Oh, yeah.
Did anybody like Meet Joe Black or just me?
Yes, I loved it. I actually used to do a monologue from it.
I hate that movie. Meet Joe Black.
Oh,
I lost a Schmoedown match to that question.
Yo, wait, Fight Club. How did I forget that?
Yeah. Fight Club. I'm Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though, man. I love love that movie.
I need to rewatch it. I definitely need to rewatch it.
First, I liked it. I really liked the first time. On rewatch, it just gets better and better. I love that movie. All right, what's next?
Heading back over to Streamlabs, let me congrats about the expo. Storm Shadow rocks. If Eastman and Laird are directly involved in the new TMNT movie, I'm all for it. I'm stoked for the new comic. Sean Connery in The Untouchables is my favorite performance by him outside of Bond. This is always my next thought of him in a movie. Drip, drip.
The Rock.
The Rock?
Yeah.
Last Crusade.
I was going to say Indy's father.
Yeah, it's a good one, too.
Dr. No. Get all y'all get out of here. Goldfinger.
He said outside of Bond, Winston.
No. Fuck your outside of Bond.
There is no outside of Bond. Right.
No. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, the Avengers.
Right. I remember that was the biggest BS question we've ever asked in the Schmoedown. It was season 1, and it was a true and false question, and it was true or false. Sean Connery was in the Avengers, and Riley goes false, and it's like, no, he was in the Avengers.
He was in the Avengers.
What a bullshit question. And I was like, he was.
That's funny.
I actually like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but I also like The Good Guys too. Or no, Daddy's Home. So
Daddy's Home, yeah.
Mute my mic.
Ambulance.
Daddy's Home. All right, let's
D-Train. Yep. In my opinion, DiCaprio has the best filmography of any actor working today. He's the GOAT. Screw the haters.
I think there's less haters these days with him. I think he's
of who?
Of DiCaprio. I think when he was coming up, it was like he had that kind of pop idol thing around him, especially after being in Titanic, and he was in
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, the serious actor thing. Even though he took himself very serious, it's like I don't think the public did until he started getting a little older. And then, like I said, for me, it was Departed and everything since. It's like the guy just he's he pairs up with the right people, man. You know, whether it's Scorsese or whoever it might be, he's crushing it. So
I'd say it was since like Catch Me If You Can, honestly, because like Catch Me If You Can, and then Gangs in New York, and then Aviator.
Well, I like to switch it to before because we only have a couple minutes left, and I want to put the heavy focus tomorrow on actresses because like Amy Adams is someone that came to mind, right? And I would put Arrival up there for sure, and if not Arrival, the other one,
The Master.
Man. Master, she's good at the fighter. She's okay.
For me, it's Junebug.
Junebug. But what's the one? Shit, the one I really liked with Aaron Taylor Johnson that she was in.
Nocturnal Animals.
I love that movie.
It's
fucking crazy.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I love that.
I love Nocturnal Animals.
Movie, yeah.
Mine is. I know it's not a movie, but Sharp Objects, that HBO miniseries that she was in. Oh, dude, she crushes.
Yeah.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah. So let's. The Enchanted. Also.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Tim Sim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tim Sim with the Ryan Reynolds Schmobot. Dagan was never a huge Shia LaBeouf fan after crappy Transformers and public shenanigans, but his best film is easily Peanut Butter Falcon. It has so much heart and feel-good moments while still having elements of drama. He proved himself as a legit actor.
I think that his performance, I saw Bibbs talking about this in the chat room. Fury, in general, in that movie, because we're talking about Brad Pitt, I think that's one of Shia LaBeouf's best performances. I think that he's great in Honey Boy, playing his dad. But the movie Peanut Butter Falcon is one of his best movies in a while. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. How many more you want, Kristian?
Let's
3 or 4.
Yeah, we'll do a couple more. Let's do 2 more and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, Suge Knight 323. Morning, everyone. My favorite actor in a franchise is Chevy Chase in Vacation.
Yes.
They're all classic and movies as hell. Also, Netflix always has Cobra Kai. Watch later. Is blasphemous to say I enjoy Karate Kid 2 and 3 more than the original. Just me?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just you. Two is good, but you put 3 over 1, and
yeah. Also, you're the only person.
We gotta start questioning our friendship after that.
We haven't even talked about comedic actors like Eddie Murphy or.
So this is gonna. I think this topic goes on for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
I think we can do this for the rest of the week because there's so many. There's so many actors and actresses that we haven't even scratched the surface on, and there's some impressions that we missed on today that we'll do tomorrow. So lot going on tomorrow. Mark Riley will be on the show tomorrow. We'll do the freestyle tomorrow. We'll continue this conversation, and yes, we'll make sure Trash Panda that we'll hit your Schmobot. We'll hit everybody. If we missed your Schmobots, if we missed any of that stuff, then we'll make sure that you guys get everything covered tomorrow. So I wanted to thank the crew. Thank you to RB3. Thank you to Mulligan, Brett Sheridan, the whole damn crew. Thank you to you guys for being part of the show here today. Make sure you subscribe here to RB3. I'll do it for you. Check this out. Ready? Thanks, everybody, for being there. I appreciate it. And again, do not forget, today, 2 p.m. PST.
2 or 3?
3 p.m. Sorry, 3 p.m. PST. Thank you, Ben. You're going to have Andrew DiMolanta versus Molly Damon. Do not forget, get the hell over there and watch that match today. We want to try to break the live streaming record of 2,000 people. Let's do it. Join us today. Be over there. Get on over to twitch.tv/theschmoedown. Subscribe or follow us so you know exactly when we go on there. Thank you. Download the show on Apple Podcasts. Do the whole damn thing, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Woo!
We're still live, Kate.
Oh.
Woo!